Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again on this Hump Day Wednesday. God, the week went by fast already. It's already halfway through. Two more to go. Um, so as you know, guys know, the draft is coming up very fast. It will be at the end of this month. I think it's what the 28th, 29th. Um, it's always on a Thursday though. Thursday into Saturday. Um, we will be live during the draft, of course. Now, I don't know as far as like, because I wish I could have went though. Just like last year, we couldn't go because it was in Vegas, but this year it's in Ohio. I would have liked to take that drive, man, but since things aren't quite all the way open yet, it is what it is. But now I will say this: uh, it's still exciting though. So, but free agency is still going on, and actually, free agency is pretty much 365 because the teams are always adding talent and things of that nature. We know a lot of teams are quarterback needy. Thank God the Cowboys are not. We do may need a veteran backup for Dak Prescott just in case. And Dak Prescott said he should be good to go. They're not. The Cowboys are not rushing. Of course not. Why would you rush that? They said he should be good to go by camp, and that's pretty much when you're going to see him anyway, because the rest of his offseason stuff is just implementing stuff. I mean, he can do that without being on the field. You know what I mean? Like him and Mike McCarthy can have their conversations about things that they're going to add for the year, things of that nature. But um, it's all preliminary based until you get to camp. Now, the Cowboys did sign two more players. One of these guys I know for sure is going to be a camp body. Um, Unless he just comes in and he proves that he's better than the one that we got. So the Cowboys signed a tight end and a punter. So the Cowboys signed former division rival Washington football team tight end Jeremy Sprinkle. Now, those of you I know DMV knows Jeremy Sprinkle because he was actually a fan of him when he got drafted originally. So Jeremy Sprinkle, tight end, he signed a 1 year contract with the Cowboys. He was primarily a blocking tight end, and that's how Washington used him. He can do both. He can pass catch and he can block. He spent his first 4 years, like I said, in Washington. He was a fifth round draft pick by them back in 2017 out of Arkansas. Of course, that was the year we went to the draft. And I remember DMV was just talking about Jeremy Sprinkle, Jeremy Sprinkle, Jeremy Sprinkle, but he's here. Now, I'm not going to say that he's necessarily a camp body because he could actually make the squad because of the tight end, based on what they do with the other tight ends on this team. And I'll talk about that in a second. He has 34 career catches, mainly, like I said, because he was primarily used as a blocking tight end. He hasn't missed a game in the last 3 seasons, so which is good. And in those 3 seasons, he had 28 starts and 33 starts for his career entirely. Now, as far as our tight end room goes right now with the Dallas Cowboys, you got the starter, you got Blake Jarwin, you got um, Dalton Schultz, and that's pretty much what you got right now. That's starting. Now, Blake Bell, those of you didn't know, some of you guys probably didn't even realize this because it was one of those little sneaky type of things. We didn't end up re-signing Blake Bell. So Blake Bell actually went back to Kansas City. So we initially got Blake Bell from Kansas City last year in free agency, and Kansas City snatched him back up. So that's pretty much what they did. So he's going back to his former team where he won the Super Bowl with that year. Um, I actually like the Belldozer here. He actually caught some passes for the Dallas Cowboys. He was productive. He was in there making blocks and things of that nature. So he's definitely going to be missed. We're going to miss the Belldozer, but they signed Jeremy Sprinkle, so he would technically be the third tight end. So I'm not going to say he's a camp body because they can actually use him. Um, the other tight end they do have on the roster now, they always used him for special teams, and he was just like a guy that was inactive. Sean McKeon. Sean McKeon, when he was active, he was on special teams primarily. I don't think he even registered a catch for the Dallas Cowboys. Like I said, because he just was a special team player. And then outside of that, he was on the practice squad. So I don't. So basically, it'd be a camp battle between him and Sprinkle. Now, if you do that, I'm pretty sure Sprinkle's going to win him out because um, Sprinkle is the veteran in that situation. But we know that as of now, Blake Jarwin is your starter, and I said Andy Dalton. Dalton Schultz, I'm sorry, is your backup tight end, your second tight end. And both of those guys are pass catchers. They proven. Did pretty good in spot duty when Blake Jarwin got hurt. So the fact that he's there definitely helps his team. So it just gives you another weapon to get. Now, does that procure or diminish the Cowboys from getting uh, Kyle Pitts in the draft? No, not really. If he's there, get him. Of course, news comes out. Oh, Jerry Jones is infatuated with Kyle Pitts. First of all, what GM isn't right now? Everybody is in love with Kyle Pitts. I think that was news that's not newsworthy. To me, all that screams is just smoke screens because information don't just come out like that and then all of a sudden you get that guy. More than likely, when you hear stuff like that, it's a smoke screen to deter you from thinking that, oh, well, maybe he's going to get another player. No, he's probably going to go get Pitts. But in all actuality, I think the Cowboys are going to go get Surtain anyway. But I mean, if they did get Kyle Pitts, either way, I mean, it's a win-win. You got a generational guy that is Jason Witten like, but a faster version, and you got a guy like that can help your franchise for years to come. What you don't want is a division rival to get Kyle Pitts. That's it. Um, so that's pretty much it with the tight end. Now, this punter that we picked up, he's actually from the Texans. He was played with the Texans last year. His name is Bryan Anger. I definitely seen him on their roster, so I know who he is. But again, we already have a punter in Hunter Niswander, and Hunter has really played pretty well this past season with the Dallas Cowboys. And I just think that if anybody's a camp body, it's more than likely Bryan Anger because he's basically just going to provide competition for Niswander. We know that Niswander is more than likely the guy, unless Bryan Anger just comes out and just punts way better than Niswander. But I don't think so because I don't think Anger was ever as good as Niswander is right now or has been for the Dallas Cowboys last season. Now, so a little bit about Bryan Anger. He signed a 1 year contract as well as Jeremy Sprinkle did. He was drafted back in 2012, number 70 overall. That's what, the second round? That's like the late second round. Drafted 70 overall by Jacksonville. I remember when they did it, and it was a head scratcher when they did it. I was like, so you went and got a punter in the second round? Like, scratching your head, like, that's like linebacker territory. That's defensive lineman territory. You drafted a punter right there when most of the punters that you see are either late round draft picks or they're undrafted because a lot of those kickers and punters and stuff, they're pretty good even though they're not drafted. That's just one of those positions where you can get value at any position because they're not sexy picks. They're not picks that normally teams go for. But I don't know what Jacksonville was thinking when they drafted. But either way, he was still good enough to play for them because he played for his first 4 years with the team. Then after his rookie contract was up, he spent the next 3 seasons in Tampa Bay. Then after that, he spent the next 2 seasons with the Texans, which is here we are now, him now getting signed by the Dallas Cowboys. So, like I said, he's pretty much a competition for Niswander. I don't see him beating out Niswander for that punter position, but you never know. And this is just something that John Foster was like, oh, I just want to create competition. I love the fact that they're trying to create competition. That is a good thing because you don't want a guy in any position on this team to get comfortable. Because what happens when a player gets comfortable on a team, he doesn't play well. He gets lax. He gets lazy. He doesn't work as hard. But when you have competition in every position, it even those veterans are like, oh, I'm playing for my job here, guys. I got to make sure that I'm going out here doing what I need to be doing every day to win this matchup and basically try to continue to be on this roster because nobody's safe. And I love that. I love that environment. I love that they're doing that. That is a bright spot of this team, that they are creating that competition with players, even when it's a position where you would think he's perceived to have it in the bag. So that's just the way that is. Let me know what you guys think about tight end Jeremy Sprinkle and punter Bryan Anger. I know that some of you are probably gonna be like, "Oh well, why do we keep bargain bin shopping and things of that?" I get it, but sometimes it's necessary to bargain bin because sometimes you can get some good things in those bargain bins. Um, it's about adding pieces to your team. Everything that you pick up is not going to be a top 10 person because you can't put stake on every play. It doesn't work like that in the NFL because it's something called a salary cap, guys. So yeah, that's how you got to do it. You have to build not only the front end of your roster but the back end as well. You know how Jason Garrett, when he was our coach, used to preach all the time, next man up. Well, if your next man can't fulfill that position, then that next man up mentality doesn't even make sense. So in order for it to be a next man up, you have to make sure that you take care of those guys in the back end too. So that's just what I'm saying. That's just some food for thought. Let me know what you guys think in the comment box. Like, share, comment, subscribe to the Mofo channel. It's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Peace out.